September 11th, 2025, a sleek gray ghost lifts off from a California airfield. Not a sound, no fanfare, just pure, unstoppable power. This is the second B-21 Raider, the bomber that's rewriting every rule in the book. While China and Russia scramble to catch up, America just leaped 2 generations ahead. This isn't just another aircraft, it's a flying computer that sees everything, controls drones, and can strike anywhere on Earth without being detected. The B-2 Spirit is already outdated. The B-1 Lancer is history. Even the legendary B-52 is stepping aside. And here's the kicker. It costs 1/3 the price of the B-2 while being twice as deadly. Stick around because what you're about to discover will change everything you thought you knew about air power. Today we're breaking down exactly why the B-21 Raider isn't just better than other bombers, it makes them completely obsolete. From stealth technology that makes it virtually invisible to a price tag that finally makes sense, this 6th-generation bomber is the future of American air dominance. And by the end of this breakdown, you'll understand why our adversaries are losing sleep over this machine. Reason 1. The world's first 6th-generation stealth bomber. First things first, the B-21 Raider is officially the world's first 6th-generation stealth bomber. Let that sink in. While other countries are still trying to perfect 5th-generation fighters, America just skipped ahead entirely. This isn't an upgrade, it's a complete revolution. Northrop Grumman built this beast from the ground up, and they're calling it the most sophisticated bomber ever created. The B-2 Spirit was incredible for its time, cutting edge in the 1980s and 90s, but the B-21 is packed with technology that didn't even exist when the B-2 was designed. We're talking about artificial intelligence, advanced sensor fusion, and stealth capabilities so advanced that experts claim this thing has a radar signature smaller than a bird. Actually, that's selling it short. The exact radar cross-section is classified, but defense analysts believe it's even smaller than the B-2's already tiny signature. And here's what really matters. On September 11th, 2025, the second B-21 took flight. That's not a prototype sitting in a hangar. That's active testing, real progress, real capability. The program is moving forward on schedule and on budget. When was the last time you heard that about a major defense project? The Air Force didn't just want a new bomber, they wanted a game changer, something that could penetrate the most advanced air defenses that China and Russia could throw at it, something that could operate in environments where air superiority isn't guaranteed. The B-21 delivers all of that and more. But being 6th generation means more than just stealth. It means this bomber thinks for itself, connects with other assets, and can even fly missions autonomously. This is the future, and it's already here. Reason 2, unmatched stealth that makes it invisible. Now let's talk about what really makes the B-21 special. It's stealth. The B-2 Spirit was revolutionary. It could slip past Soviet radar like a ghost, but the B-21 takes that concept and cranks it up to 11. Look at the design. It's a pure flying wing, just like the B-2, but sleeker. The air intakes are so narrow and flush with the body that you barely notice them. Those intakes on the B-2 were like caverns. Radar loves caverns, but the B-21's intakes are almost organic, blending seamlessly into the wing. That's no accident. It's brilliant engineering. The materials are next level too. Advanced radar-absorbing materials that don't just deflect radar, they absorb it across multiple frequencies. And unlike the B-2, which required constant maintenance to keep its stealth coating intact, the B-21's materials are far more durable. That means more time in the air, less time in the shop. But here's where it gets really interesting. The B-21's engines are designed to minimize both radar and infrared signatures. Higher bypass ratio engines mean cooler exhaust, which makes it harder for heat-seeking missiles to track. The entire aircraft is built around one principle: be invisible. China and Russia have spent billions developing advanced air defense systems, S-400s, S-500s, sophisticated radar networks. The B-21 is designed to laugh at all of it. When this bomber penetrates enemy airspace, they won't see it coming until it's too late. And that's not just theory. The technology has evolved over decades. The B-21 uses Gen 5 Plus stealth, which is at least 2 full generations ahead of the B-2's Gen 1 technology. Think about how computers have improved in 30 years. Now apply that same leap to stealth technology. That's the B-21. Reason 3, a price tag that actually makes sense. Here's something that might shock you. The B-21 Raider cost about $692 million per aircraft. Now, I know that sounds like a lot, but here's the thing. The B-2 Spirit cost $2.25 billion each when adjusted for inflation. That means the B-21 cost 1/3 the price while being far more capable. Let me put that in perspective. The B-2 program was so expensive that Congress cut the order from 132 aircraft down to just 21. 21 bombers to cover the entire globe. That's why the B-21's affordability matters so much. The Air Force plans to buy at least 100 of these aircraft, with some estimates suggesting the fleet could grow to 145 or even 200. So how did Northrop Grumman pull this off? Advanced digital design tools. They reduced the changes needed from the drawing board to a flyable aircraft from 15 to 20% down to just 1%. That's incredible efficiency. They're using proven technologies in new ways rather than reinventing the wheel. The engines are based on the F-35's Pratt & Whitney F135, which means shared parts and lower costs. The B-21 is being built at the same Plant 42 facility in Palmdale, California, where the B-2 was assembled, but the production process is completely modernized. Augmented reality helps technicians, robotic systems handle precision tasks, everything is designed for efficiency. Over the next 30 years, the Air Force estimates spending about $23 billion to develop, purchase, and operate a fleet of at least 100 B-21s. That sounds like a lot, but spread across a century of service and a large fleet, it's actually reasonable, especially when you consider what you're getting: unmatched capability at a sustainable price. And here's the best part. Congress just allocated an additional $4.5 billion in April 2025 to accelerate production. They see the value. They see the need. The B-21 is happening, and it's happening fast. Reason 4, built for rapid upgrades and future threats. Technology changes fast. A weapon system designed today might be outdated in 10 years. The Pentagon learned that lesson the hard way, but the B-21 was designed from day one to adapt. Open systems architecture. Those 3 words are absolutely critical. It means new technology can be plugged in without redesigning the entire aircraft. Software updates can happen smoothly, new weapons can be integrated seamlessly. The B-21 isn't locked into one configuration, it evolves. Think of it like your smartphone. You don't buy a new phone every time a new app comes out. You just download it. The B-21 works the same way. New sensor technology? Install it. Advanced electronic warfare systems? Plug them in. Next generation weapons? Load them up. The B-2 Spirit, for all its brilliance, was built with 1980s architecture. Upgrading it requires major modifications, time, and enormous expense. That's why it costs so much to keep the B-2 fleet operational. The B-21 avoids that trap entirely. And this isn't just about hardware. The B-21 uses cloud-based digital twin technology. That means every aircraft has a virtual copy that can be tested and updated in the digital environment before any changes hit the real plane. This makes maintenance predictable, reduces downtime, and keeps costs under control. Northrop Grumman and the Air Force demonstrated the system successfully. They migrated B-21 ground systems data to a cloud environment, including the digital twin. This gives maintainers and planners incredible insight into every aircraft's condition and capabilities. The result? The B-21 will remain cutting edge for decades. While adversaries struggle to keep up with today's technology, the B-21 will already be moving on to tomorrow's. That's how you maintain air superiority for generations. Reason 5, intercontinental reach without refueling. Range matters. A bomber that can't reach its target is useless. The B-21 Raider has an expected range exceeding 5,000 miles. That's intercontinental reach. That means it can launch from bases in the United States, strike targets on the other side of the world, and return home. No need for vulnerable tanker aircraft. No need for forward bases that put personnel at risk. The B-2 Spirit could fly about 6,000 miles on a single tank of fuel, and the B-21's range is believed to be similar or even longer despite being smaller. How? Efficiency. Those advanced engines sip fuel compared to older designs. The aerodynamic flying wing design cuts through the air with minimal drag. Every detail is optimized for maximum range. This capability changes the strategic calculus completely. An adversary can't just simply target nearby airfields and eliminate the bomber threat. The B-21 can operate from the continental United States and still hit targets anywhere on Earth. That's true global reach. Think about the geography of the Pacific. China is thousands of miles from American bases. Traditional aircraft need multiple aerial refuelings to reach critical targets. That creates predictable flight paths and vulnerable moments. The B-21 can take routes that avoid detection and don't require tanker support in contested areas. Australia looked at this capability and saw incredible value. A B-21 can fly 2,500 miles without refueling while carrying more munitions than an F-35 fighter jet, which maxes out at 930 miles. One B-21 delivers the same striking power as several F-35s with far greater range and survivability. This is why the Air Force is building its future bomber force around the B-21 and modernized B-52. Long-range strike capability is essential for modern warfare. The B-21 delivers it in the stealthiest package ever created.